Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I wanted to answer a common question that I've been getting recently, and it has to do with fishing gloves. Why do I like to wear them and what type do I like to use? So I want to talk about that in this video. So it really comes down to three main reasons why I like to wear gloves, and number one is being protection from the sun. I hate when my hands get burnt. The tops of your hands get burnt when you're out there on the water. Your hands are constantly facing up or in direct sunlight. And I don't like using chemicals on my hands like sunblock, because whatever chemicals are on your hands, they can transfer onto whatever you're touching. So you're touching your reel, your line, and most importantly, your lures that are going in front of a fish that can actually deter those fish from striking because of the scent being on those lures from your sunblock. So that's the main reason why I like to wear gloves. Another good reason is for protection from bugs, mosquitoes, no-see-ums, because when you're out there on the water early morning, you're rigging up or you're retrieving lures and you constantly have mosquitoes and no-see-ums biting the tops of your hands. It can be super annoying and distracting. So that's another good reason why you should wear gloves when you're out there fishing in the morning, as opposed to putting sunblock or even worse, bug repellent on your hands, because again, if that transfers onto your lures, it can deter the fish. And if you're fishing from a boat, if you have sunblock or bug spray on your hands and you reach into that live well on accident, forgetting you put that stuff on your hands, you're going to kill all your bait. And then the last reason for wearing gloves when I'm fishing is protection from my actual fishing line. My line, my leader, when you're using braid, it's super thin, and if you're tying knots and your hands are wet, you can cut your fingers very easily with your fishing line. So because these gloves, they do have, the half finger, I can sort of wrap the line around the cloth section of the glove and then tie my knots that way, and that'll help keep the line from digging into my fingers. Also, if you're going after larger fish and you need to grab the leader to get control of that fish and that fish takes off, you now have that hand protection as well to keep that line from cutting up your hand. Now I will say one thing: when you are handling fish with gloves on, make sure you dip your hands into the water first. Make sure your gloves are wet before you handle that fish, because it's just like grabbing a fish with a dry towel. It will remove the slime coat from that fish. So if your hands are wet, it will help eliminate removing a lot of that slime coat. So make sure, just dip your hands into the water before you grab a fish. Make sure your hands are wet before handling any fish with gloves on. And then lastly, the type of gloves that I like to use, I actually got these from Academy Sports and Outdoors. They're made by Cordova. They're called the Rockfish. And the reason I like these is they have some nice padding and protection on the palms and also the fingers, as you can see there. So if I'm paddling around, that's another thing that helps with the gloves. If I'm paddling, it helps avoid blisters on my hands, so that's really nice. Also, I like the long wrist section of the glove that allows your shirt to sort of overlap the glove, so there's no extra exposure there of your skin. So that's really nice with these gloves, and they're pretty cheap. They go for anywhere from 12 to 13 bucks for a pair, and they last quite a while. And even if they do get torn up, 12, 13 bucks really isn't much. It's much cheaper than buying sunblock. Sunblock and bug repellent is anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks a bottle. So you can see where that can help you save money as well. So hopefully this answers any questions you may have as to why it can be nice to wear gloves when you're fishing. Again, it's not because you don't like touching fish. It really shouldn't be because of that. It's more for hand protection. You're using your hands on the water constantly, and if they get cut up, they get injured, torn up, it's going to be a pretty uncomfortable day fishing.
If you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club in America, because we actually guarantee that you'll catch more fish while saving time and also money on the tackle you need. We do this through premium education, our exclusive insider fishing community, and huge discounts on the best tackle for saltwater anglers. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, we hope to see you again soon.